Yeah.
We are nationwide. Nationwide, coming at you live on the Facebook.
Too much energy.
Sorry, I have to bring it down a little. It's the sunglasses, dude.
I know, right?
I feel like one of those old school disc jockeys coming at you live. Today we're gonna rock some Brian Adams coming at you live.
Coming with you.
Top
the
hit
smooth
40s,
hits.
baby. Top hit.
I was about to change my shit and be all like deep in the bass. Coming at you. 5 days from Sideways.
Coming at you live with Pookie and the Big Dog. Boink, boink, boink. Yuck, yuck, yuck.
Coming at you live with Duran Duran. The hits that keep singing all night long. Welcome to the show, everybody. It's nice to see you today. My name's David. About to kick back, relax, and chug a cup of beers and not know what's going on. Straight going out the gourd. What's going on? Keeping it live. Now back to you, Adam.
All right, we are gonna play all the latest hits, man. We got Rick Astley up on deck, coming at you with a little bit of Never Gonna Let You Down, right here on Q92. Goddamn, we'd make a good fucking morning show, man. We should have. We were like in the 80s. We could be fucking rich right now, man. We could be like, you know.
Too bad we were born in the 70s. We would have been 10, 12, 13.
I know, dude. I always wanted to be I always thought it'd be cool as shit to be a fucking DJ, man. Then now that I'm older, I realize that they don't get paid shit.
Yeah, man. Like,
it's a shit job, dude.
I grew up with a little show called KZZU, right? It's the Zoo, the 93 Zoo FM.
Yeah.
And they're 92.9. Or something like that. They're like not even 93, but they call it 93. I don't know. Maybe they fixed it now, but this was, in the 80s.
Yeah.
And like now there's like, I thought they were the shit, right? I thought they were like, oh my God, yeah, that's the greatest ever. But now, man, I transferred over to country, and it's like, dude, I listen to Bobby Bones. Oh my God, he gets me going, man. Like
my wife listens to him.
He's fucking hilarious, man. He's hilarious. Yeah. Yeah. So much energy too. Just like so much energy. Like, how do you start out in the morning just being like you just, maybe. No. He always talks about it. He doesn't drink. He doesn't do any of this. Like maybe he rolls out of bed and snorts a line of coke.
Yeah, Let's go.
Like,
ready?
No, he doesn't do that. But he does talk super fast when he gets excited. And he drools his shit because he's
I've never listened to him. Like I said, my wife listens to him.
He's funny, dude. You should listen.
I don't know.
You don't like country?
Well, I like country, just not the new shit. But I listen to podcasts, man. I mean, I don't even listen to the radio at all, dude. Like, well, there is one morning show on one of the rock stations that I listen to, local here. But like, they're super local, dude. So once I get like 15 or 20 miles away, I can't pick them up anymore. So I usually just listen to fucking Pandora or podcast, all that shit, man. I got a lot of podcasts that I listen to. So
yeah. Trying to reach
Pittsburgh Nerd podcast, man. That's a good one.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
Listen to them all the time. Fucking completely unnecessary podcast. Gotta love those guys.
Yeah, Rob and Slim. I tried to. I can't watch them for 4 hours, man.
It's long, dude. It's really long. There was a couple other podcasts that I used to listen to. I don't think they're even around anymore, but they would do like 3 hour long shows. And it's just too much, man. We try to keep our shit to like an hour. If you have something interesting going on, you can push 2 hours, but like every show they had was like 3 hours, and it's just too much, It's like, I love Completely Unnecessary, and they'll do 2.5 hour shows, but they're very formatted, and they're entertaining to listen to. Not saying that these guys weren't. It was just a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, because I came in there one time, and, I don't want to go into their show, but, like, they get into some crazy stuff, dude. They get Rob and Slim, dude. That was... man. Come into the middle of those conversations, you're like,
what the fuck did I just walk into?
What did I just walk into, man?
Thundercats! I am the great cornhole.
What's up, everyone? Welcome to another episode of Masters of the Retroverse. What is going on?
Oh, hopefully we push through some technical difficulties that we had at the beginning of this week. I know there's not a lot of people that know about that, but I'll keep going talking this fast because that's what I could do.
I want to do that all night. All night, do that shit.
Like the Micro Machine guy, right?
Yeah. Oh, God. That's one guy I want to get on this show, man. I got to find him.
Amazing.
I tried finding him on Facebook, and I don't think, like, he's actually on Facebook. I think it's just, like, a page. Maybe like a fan page or something.
Right.
But we got to find him and get him on, because how fucking cool. Like, he's, like, the most memorable, one of the most memorable, what do you call it, advertising icons, I guess, of our age, you know? I mean, like,
the advertisers put a face with that dude, so you instantly know, it's a weird bald dude with a mustache. Actually had the hair.
yeah.
He's a dude because he was like
he's still out there doing shit too, man.
Yeah. Fuck, what I just saw him 2 months ago. He was on something. Didn't he talk about no. I was gonna say the toys that made us, but no. Jesus, he would say so. He would use every single noun, and the letter would start with M. And he'd be like marvelous, mischievous, but he'd do it fast, and you're like, what the fuck's happening?
Yeah, dude. Yeah, there's some crazy shit, man. If you just get on and YouTube him, there's some. I mean, he's done a lot of shit. But, he's like, I think at one time he was like Guinness Book of World Records, fastest talker in the world or some shit like that. It's like, my God, that's crazy.
It's insane.
That is.
Yeah, like
nuts.
proper verbiage, fastest talker, like saying it properly, fastest talker.
Enunciating,
Enunciating,
what he's saying, all that crap.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man, that's crazy, dude. So.
Yeah, wow, dude. So
yeah, man. So
how's your spring break been?
What spring break?
Oh wait, you had it the week before, right?
Yeah,
you're on that program
last week.
Yeah, mine was this week. Did I say that right? Damn, I feel what the fuck. I've had like half a light beer. I don't know if I'm drunk or not.
Your body's not used to it. You're like, what the fuck? This isn't rum.
Yeah, right. I'm trying to cut back on everything here. I'm trying to do the right thing and get back into a good fighting weight. So
you gonna fight a light beer? You gonna bar fight?
No. I can bar fight fat. We're good. I just get a little winded and somebody else has to tag in.
Right. After like 3 seconds.
Yeah, no, like 3 minutes. I can go. Yeah.
I bet I could take you.
It's going down.
That's it.
Ready to rumble in this corner. We'll go halfway. I will meet you in Nashville.
Done.
They're like, why weren't you guys at the Waffle Con if you can go to Nashville?
Because
yeah. So, anyways, back on track.
What
are we talking about this weekend?
Man, we are talking about a little movie that came out last week, and I believe it's called, what is it? Game Player 2?
Super Mario 1-Ups the Princess?
Yeah, that's it. 1-Ups.
1-Ups.
Yeah.
Princess.
Ready Player One!
Ready Player One.
Ready Player One. As you can
beautiful
see.
cop hates you, by the way.
Yeah, well, why don't you show everybody what you got behind you there, pal?
I got the keys. Man. Who's got the keys? I got the keys.
The keys to the kingdom.
The keys. And I didn't have to do shit.
I know. You probably
walk into Second and Charles and buy them.
Yeah, I was gonna say this fucking glass probably costs as much as your fucking keys. So
yeah,
I'm
20.
Jealous too.
Yeah, $19.99. So yeah. Ready Player One keys.
Yeah, those are badass. Real crystal, jade, and copper.
Totally is for $19.99.
Shit, man, that's badass.
No, they're all plastic. Bro. So the copper key. There's the copper. There's the copper key.
Very cool. They have so those are the ones from the movie.
Yeah.
They don't have because like the keys in the movie had the inscriptions and shit on them.
They did? I can't remember. I thought they looked like this.
I don't. Well, and I'm talking about. I mean, in the book.
Oh, okay.
The keys in the book had the
Jade.
descriptions, not the ones in the movie, because they completely missed all that shit.
Oh yeah. No, wait. Trying to remember back. Now we're gonna start talking about this. The what the hell was it? Here's the jade. Hold on. I can't remember the book and how. There's the jade key. You get the key,
Nice. The key to my heart.
and then the value went down in these. Dude, they're plastic.
Yeah.
Get over it. And then there's the crystal. These have the
Ooh.
yeah. That's
at
the
that.
special one.
Yeah.
And the tip of it looks like snowflakes. No, circuit board. It looks like a circuit
Oh,
board.
No shit. That's cool, man.
Yeah, where the teeth are.
I wish we had one
Actually,
of those stores here where I live.
Second and Charles.
Yeah, I've never even heard of that store before.
Well, yeah. So Second and Charles, it's a pretty cool place, man. Like, oh god, I don't want to mess this up. It's so you can bring in your old books there, right? And you can sell them. You can bring in your old video games, all that crap. You can bring in all your old stuff. That's actually where I got Metroid. No,
Ooh.
no, I didn't get Metroid there. My bad. I lied. I lie. I did get my Sega Genesis there. I picked up my Sega Genesis there for all of $30, dude. All of $30.
Damn, that's actually a pretty good deal, dude.
Yeah, with one controller or two, I can't remember. Excuse me. The only thing I did have to get was I had to get the S video plug for it because it came with an RF one. So
those are cheap.
yeah, the RF
on
one was
Amazon.
working.
I had to get
Composite.
Yeah, I had to get a power cable and shit for mine. I got it. On
I got
Amazon
everything,
for
yeah.
like fucking $10 or whatever it was.
Mm-hmm. So Second and Charles, you can bring all your old stuff in there. They're not just an old bookstore like return your old books type place. They're you can get brand new books there, brand new comics. I actually picked up these comics that I was showing the other day there. So I got some independent ones. So Centipede, picked up Centipede, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles universe. It's not the one by Eastman. It's Campbell, Cronin, whatever. They're 4 dudes. So I was trying to get the Eastman one, and where is it? It's on the head. So I actually got 2. I got a variant, and I don't even know how this comic stuff works too well yet, dude. So IDW, another one, Atomic Robo. They got some weird indie comics these days, dude. So, but yeah, so that same Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle ones, I have both variants of the covers. Like it's the same book, 2 different covers.
Oh, nice.
So, and I just walked up. I got them for $1 a piece, man. So, if you can still buy comics for $1, I think that's awesome. Second and Charles, if you do that, because people will buy them and just have them sit there like they're doing right now.
There's that sounds like a place we got here. It's called V Stock. It's vintage stock, but they call it
Yeah.
V Stock, and it's like that, man. It's like it's in the mall, and it's like 2 floors. You got the top floor, which is all new and used video games, and they even have like some toys, which they charge out the ass for them. But they got and then you go downstairs, and they have new and used books and comics. You know, same thing like what you got.
Okay.
And, yeah, you can get comic books and shit for super cheap.
Super cheap.
And they even have like bags of like loose figures and shit. Like every now and then I'll come across a He-Man figure or something like that for like $4 or $5. I don't usually buy them, but I come across them.
Yeah, that's freaking awesome, man. So,
Cool.
yeah, talk about some vintage, right? So tonight is the resurgence of the movie Friday for us. So
cool.
the wind, we haven't really decided yet. I told Dana, I was like, I want it to be something 80s, and we watched a couple good ones already. I don't know, man.
16 Candles or some shit like that, man. That's always a good one.
Yeah.
So you already did Goonies, I think.
Yeah,
you already did the Explorers, right?
We did Goonies, The Explorers, Never-Ending Story, E.T. we watched on the TV because it started getting cold out.
Oh
Yeah.
no, I know the fucking movie you need to watch, dude.
What's that?
Um,
I'll rent it right now if I don't own it already.
God damn it! It's my favorite fucking movie as a kid. I can't think of the name of it. Oh my god. Oh my
The
god.
Hobbit?
I cannot. No. No. Oh my god, it's driving me crazy.
Willow?
Huh?
Willow? Princess Bride?
No, it had the fucking glaive in it. It was
The Glaive.
dude, I'm so mad at myself. I can't think of this right now. I'm just like
The
fucking drawing a
Glaive. That
complete blank,
sounds
dude.
that sounds familiar. Like, describe a character
One
to
word.
me, can you?
It's got a cyclops in it. It's got an old man. It's
What?
got.
Ain't nothing like
song.
happening. I
Alright.
thought I turned it on. But
That's
My
badass,
bad.
dude. Play that shit out.
It's my ringtone, dude. Yeah.
Hang on. 1 second, dude. I will.
Okay.
I gotta find this shit because it's gonna drive me crazy.
Yeah.
Crawl.
You know what happens when
Crawl.
Crawl?
Oh my god, dude.
Oh,
Fucking
yeah,
crawl.
yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
my god.
Hey,
That's
Adam,
such
text
a
me right now. Text me. Just say, hey, you want to hear a noise? This is you every time you text me.
Oh shit, do I want to know? Hang on, I gotta pull you up.
This is how you find out, right?
Hang
Dana's like, Adam's texting.
on.
And
That's awesome.
yeah. I don't know. Dana's probably not watching because it's not on YouTube. She watches through YouTube, but Dana has two different deals. What the fuck? What the fuck, dude?
I don't know. I just
Do I
picked a
need to do my
random fucking
brakes?
emoji thing and just sent it.
Do I need to do my brakes? That's what a C clamp's for.
Yeah. For wood. Gotta clamp
Or
your wood.
clamp my wood. No, so Dana has, so Dana is her theme. It's the theme from Goonies.
Okay.
So not the Cyndi Lauper song,
Mhm, yeah.
which it's the actual like orchestra, whatever, when they're like running through the thing or whatever. And then when she calls, it's the Cyndi Lauper song.
Nice.
Your love is yeah.
You're such a dork.
I'm a nerd. It's all good, man.
Yeah, ain't we all? So let's talk about Ready Player One, man. Let's get back on track.
sorry,
Here.
yeah,
Let's
sorry,
talk about
sorry.
this shit. So what was your
You're gonna
thoughts on the movie?
So like I said,
I guess I need to say that we are gonna do spoilers here. So if you haven't seen the movie, go ahead and skip ahead. Well, if you're live, you can't. But turn us off for about 15 minutes. We'll keep it kind of short.
yeah.
But yeah.
It is the second time we've done this.
Yeah, well, shh. Theater of the mind, my friend. They don't know this.
Theater of the mind.
Yes, this is the second time.
Yeah.
So we've already talked about this. We've already got
for
out
like
all of
45 minutes.
Right, all of our aggressions and everything is already gotten out about it. So we're just kind of chill. We're just gonna talk about it.
All right, yeah. You good?
Yeah.
You're like looking off into the clouds there.
No.
Oh yeah. So to be honest with you, like I said, like okay, if I never read the book, the movie was great. It was a good movie. I think it's getting some good reviews right now. The now that we've read the book or whatnot, it's like it's kind of sad. So
yeah, it is. It's sorry, man, my kid's coming downstairs.
yeah.
Can you turn that light on, please? Okay, thanks.
You're welcome.
Yeah. I agree, man, and I've heard a lot of people that haven't read the book say that it was a great movie. My wife won't being one of them. She really enjoyed it.
Excuse me.
I will say that the visual aspect, it was amazing. All of the throwbacks, all the little nudges and Easter eggs. Easter eggs.
Yeah.
Were really cool. But if you're comparing it to the book, I'd say I give it about a 5 out of 10.
Yeah, good 50%. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because the storytelling in the
average.
book was just
It was just average.
it was abs.
Yeah.
What's
if I think if I hadn't read the book and I watched the movie, I'd probably give it about an 8. You know, because it was.
let's compare the first two quests, if you will,
Yeah, let's do that.
against each other.
Okay, and this will be
So-
probably more for people. Well, if you've seen the movie, you'll know. But if you've read the book,
Movie versus
you'll
book.
be able to follow along and kind of. We're not going to explain the whole freaking plot line and all that shit. So go watch the movie and come back and listen.
Yeah. Even though we could explain it in no shit for the movie, it's like a 5-minute piece.
It is, yeah.
And in the book was so much more, artistically, like, to the mind, more beautiful and more elegant the way they approached the first quest. It was just, I loved every minute of it. The whole character building, like, you didn't even meet Artemis right from the start. You're like, what the fuck, dude? Like, I'm gonna meet Artemis right in the race. Like, you're never supposed to meet Artemis at the start.
No.
You don't want to meet, yeah.
That was my biggest beef with this movie was the character building. There was no character building whatsoever. And in the book, I mean, they had so much. There was just so much to each character that you got to know. So our hopes were so high watching this movie, going into it. And it's just like we were such a letdown.
Well, you meet H at the start, so it's like you meet H at the start in the book. In the book, H is totally like it's a dude. You know what I mean? Like, it's a dude, right?
I always pictured H as kind of like even the avatar of H as like this kind of, I don't know, like
geeky, the beta to his alpha.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, like a skinny, scrawny kind of dorky.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't even know why, but more like a almost like a Latino kind of complexion.
Like Hernandez,
kind of like
because they called him H. Yeah.
Yeah, like have you ever seen oh shit, I can't. God damn it, I'm just drawing a blank with movies tonight. Ender's Game.
Sorry,
have you ever seen Ender's Game?
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what's his name? Bean.
Shit, dude, it's been a long time.
The little like. Kind of
the main character kid.
Not the main character, but his buddy. His buddy. The little kid.
Dude.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
That's kind of how I pictured H. So anyway, go ahead.
Yes. So with him being where were we at here? So the character building piece. H goes to the same school as him, right? Oh shit! I asked you a question. You should
no, wait for your mom to get home.
I was in the middle of asking you a question.
No, go ahead.
So in the book, H is in the same school as him.
Close the door.
Or not? Huh?
No, they're not in the same school. No.
So they're not on the same planet.
They're on the same planet, but remember they're not the same school because he traveled to his school to get to the first key.
Right. So yeah, they used the planet is a school planet.
Yeah.
Right.
Like,
and it has a whole bunch of schools. Yeah. Has a whole bunch of schools on it, and he uses his credits because he got advanced credits from the school to go to H's school because it wasn't that far from H's school.
Because
right?
there was a football game or Quidditch
game,
or whatever the fuck it was.
Quidditch, whatever they play in the Oasis. And the PVE, right? Player. What does PVE stand for? Because I'm still learning all this stupid shit.
Player versus environment.
Yeah. Okay. Because I'm still just like PvP.
Yeah. PVE is player versus environment.
There's like a couple different versions of that shit now, right? PvP, PVE, PV.
The only two I've heard.
No, there's not. I thought there's another one. It might say in the book. I'm starting to fall out of this computer realm. Gunner Roxy doesn't want you to lick her ear.
And their high-tech shit.
Right. So he ends up going there to watch the football game.
Jim says he likes my sunglasses. Thank you. They are.
No problem.
Do anything. Is that a buddy of yours?
Nah.
No?
Wait, Jim Shoemake? What is it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but yeah. Let me see here. Where are we at? I'm losing.
So he goes to H's school because they were having a football game or whatever, and he was able to locate where the key was, where the
right.
the key was essentially. So he finds it on the planet because this whole thing evolved around this long giant speech that what's his name made. Dude, I'm telling you, man, I'm doing terrible, man.
I said Faraday, like the Faraday
Holiday.
cage.
Holiday.
Yeah, Holiday.
Yeah, and Ogden Morrow. Yeah.
Ogden
So
Morrow, his best friend.
Holiday had this long, giant, drawn out like speech, this video that he did when he died, with all these clues and stuff, and they completely missed that in the book. So
it was
took him like 5 years to figure out where this first key was, you know. So he figures it out. He goes down there, and that's where he meets Artemis. After he got the key.
Yeah, he didn't realize that Artemis like had done it. How did they meet again? Like,
well, he was in.
He went down there and he said he lost, right?
Yeah, he went down there. He beat. So okay. So let's talk about the first key, because what he did was he goes down into this dungeon essentially, and there's this giant statue that comes to life, and he has to beat the statue in joust. He has to play 2-player in joust, and he has to beat the statue. Best 2 out of 3. He lost. He won the first.
And it was from Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah.
It was modeled after.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, no, even that bad even the skeleton crackly fingered and all that stuff. Like, because he takes his finger up off the deal or whatever, and it says, "What brings you here?"
Right. Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
Or something like that.
Yep. So he beats him, and he's leaving, and he comes across Artemis.
Well, you skipped a big part.
What? Well, he beat it. He got the key.
When he beat it, it turned into Adam. What's his name?
Andorak, or whatever the hell it is.
Andorak, yeah. Like, it turned into that wizard-looking dude, right? And he gives him the key and the scroll.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
Which it wasn't a scroll. It was wasn't it just an? It was inscribed on the key.
It was on the key, right?
Yeah, there was no scrolls. It was inscribed on the back of the key.
Right, the clue for the
clue.
gate. Now, see, that was an important thing, because in the book you had the key, you had the quest to get the key,
to get the key.
Right. Then you had the quest to get the gate.
Right.
And once you got in the gate,
that's how you find the clue for the next.
Right. So there's essentially 3 quests per gate, essentially. Which essentially,
just like you said, would make for an awesome trilogy in a movie.
Absolutely. Yeah. So they should have done each gate as a movie.
To bring a whole town back to life and have it resurge to the 80s, it'd be like a Stranger Things episode. It'd be so fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Like, dive in with that shit. Embrace the fucking 80s and the way that everything was, like, outside of the pop culture version of the 80s. Yeah, we had tidbits of that stuff, but the nerd version of the 80s is what needs to be resurged, and it was in the book.
Right. Because wasn't every high school on the planet was it was created to look like the high school from Breakfast Club, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Or was it that?
Fast Times at Ridgemont High?
Yeah, it was one of those.
Yeah.
I can't remember.
Well, he explains that shit, and, like, to be honest with you, there's some times where I passed out listening to the book because I'd be in bed. But, like, I finished the whole first part of the book in bed, and I was just like, I woke up at like midnight, and it was like, this concludes welcome to Golden Publishing. I was like, what the fuck? Where'd I was like, chapter 5.
Nice. Yeah.
The whole first part of the book, I just, like, it just put me to sleep, man. Will Wheaton, dude. Will Wheaton.
Yeah, so that's where he meets Artemis. And he basically tells her, nope, I didn't get the key. He's like, but I'm getting ready to go. She's like, well, wait, why are you leaving? You know?
Yep.
He's like, well.
She's like, you ain't leaving. She put a wall up.
She did, yes, she did. She trapped him in there.
Yep.
And
everything respawns at midnight.
Yep. So on to the second key. It took him, like, what was it? It was several months before any of them found the second key, right?
Right. And it wasn't even, he didn't even find, he found the second key, didn't he?
No.
Did he find the second key
Not
first or did she?
She did.
She did.
Yep.
Right. Because that's how the quarter comes into play. And I like how he got the quarter in the book. I like that storyline a lot better than his avatar of Ogden Morrow like flipped him the coin because he won the bet. You know what I mean? Like,
right. Yeah. So in the book, he plays. He comes across this. It was a diner from some '80s movie. I don't remember what it was.
it was the arcade planet he was on.
Arcade Planet, yeah. But I thought it was like a bowling alley or something from some movie, whatever it was. He finds this Pac-Man machine, and he's like, the clues on the key. He's like, well, it's got to be this. So he goes and he plays this Pac-Man, and he figures out that the whole goal of this game was to try to play a perfect game of Pac-Man, like perfect. Because
and the quarter was stuck to it.
It was stuck to it, and he couldn't pick it up. So Holliday's score was up there, and he noticed that it was like 100 points below a perfect game. So he's like, all I've got to do is do a perfect game of Pac-Man, and I win, thinking that he was going to get the key. Well, long story short, he ends up doing it, but all he ends up getting is this quarter. He gets the quarter, puts it in his item box, or whatever, and he can't do anything with it. So they don't even mention it again until later on.
Which they did the same thing in the movie because he put it in his pocket, and which is essentially his inventory. And but the movie version was just like it was not up to par like the book's version of it was. And I think it would have been better to be able to go to this planet where all these 80s arcade games were and shit like that, and like different levels of people doing things. Because like he said, the closer you got to the center of the world, the older the arcades were. Right. And he was down in these old ass like archives of arcades, and this crazy ass pizza parlor shows up out of nowhere, and it's the pizza parlor from Halliday's, like when he was in the 80s, like and it was like exactly how it was described to him in Halliday's autobiography. And he notated it in his journal. His journal kept everything, which we haven't even hit up. Wade in his journal, his fandom of Halliday.
Where did the movie? What movie was it that he had to reenact?
War Games.
Yes. I knew it was a Matthew Broderick movie.
And you know what's funny? You see what's popped up on Facebook the past couple days? You haven't seen it's called Echo. And it's they no shit have this War Games thing, and it's like an episode, and you can pop back from screen to screen, and it's more modernized and talking about peaceful protest. It's got a lot of crap from
what? It's Echo, like Amazon Echo?
AKO or EKO. Echo.
Okay.
Eco?
What is it?
So what I could tell is you can only watch one episode at a time, and like you have to finish that episode before you can go to the second episode. It's talking about interactive gaming and knowing that interactive gaming is going to be the future, and people are commenting on it, talking about it being the future, and like there's no interactiveness with any episode whatsoever. It's like you just get a transfer back from when people are talking. So it'll have one screen and it'll have like 5 different people talking, and you can switch back to pull them closer. You still see the little ones off in the side. So it's just I don't know, man. I'm kind of like,
I'll have to look into that because I'm not really even sure.
EKO. There's an actual app. There's an app for it. So it's on the iTunes store. I don't want to like promote that because that kind of makes me sick to think that they're calling that interactive gaming because you're switching between screens that are constantly going. You're not getting to choose a path. It's not a make your own adventure type deal. It goes from 1 episode to 2 episodes to 3 episods. It's just, I don't know, man. I don't know what to think of it, but they called it's War Games, and she hacks a fucking drone, and it's very, very current event type shit. But sorry, I'm getting off track with this bullshit. let's get back to real gaming and Ready Player One.
Right.
I apologize. Yeah.
Yeah. So.
War games brought us to that.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, there was just a lot. I mean, we could go on all night about this movie, man, and all the differences. But we just wanted to explain the differences that we saw. And I hate being that guy, that person saying, "Oh, it's nothing like the book," because I hate when people say that. But I mean, this legitimately. The only thing that followed the book was the characters' names and some of the storyline. Like the basic principle of the story where these kids
IOI, yeah.
Right, IOI, these kids are it's a race for the money between these kids and IOI. There's a few similarities sprinkled in that actually happened in the book, like the bombing of the trailer park, which still wasn't anything like what the book said happened.
Yeah.
But just the fact that I don't know, man. The character building just really, really bothered me. I mean, it still just bothers me the shit out of me, man. That just bugs me, dude. Because there was so much that like I think people would have loved the characters had they got to really know them,
right,
and understand where they came from, and know like what Parzival had to go through to get Artemis, in the book they didn't even meet until I'm talking like the last fucking page.
The last fucking sentence.
Yeah, they didn't meet face to face. And none
they didn't
of them
even
really
kiss
met.
in the book.
Yeah.
They didn't kiss in the book, did they?
No.
They just sat together on a bench.
Yep. And basically said they wanted to spend the rest of their lives with each other, basically, or whatever it was,
Yeah.
Holiday was really funny because he reminded me of fucking Garth from Wayne's World, dude. It was so funny. It was so funny, man. Like spot on. Like the glasses, the hair, the way he talked with his mouth kind of puckered up like a butthole, Funny shit, dude. I love it. Simon Pegg, I thought was really good. Never seen him in a role where he had an American accent. That was interesting. I think he did a really good job. I mean, I think all the actors did a good job at their roles. I don't know, man. Yeah, I don't know.
Like I said, this would have been better suited in a 3-part fucking movie.
Definitely.
And it would have like the character development would have been there. The whole quest for the key, you'd be looking for more.
Yeah.
What's happening next? Now they need to they've got this key. He's been to this gate. He knows this stuff. And it brings us to this journey.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it would have like the books, like I don't want to be the money hungry asshole out of this, but it would have brought the franchise more money and it would have built it up.
Definitely. I mean, they did it with Hunger Games. They did it with Twilight.
Yeah, well, that's stupid shit, right?
Right.
They don't do it with this.
Yeah. Well, I noticed that they missed out on all the 80s references, and all the references that were there were more modern day references and like maybe 90s references, besides the subtle shit that you had to kind of pick up on your own. Like you had mentioned, well, in part 1 and take 1 of this, that his Space Invaders shirt, that he was wearing. The only mention of Joust was the Joust poster on the wall that you had to kind of pick up on your own. So I wonder if all these were just from licensing issues. There was no Pac-Man, there was no Joust, there was no War Games. There, none of that stuff even happened. Instead of the War Games, they kind of put in The Shining. They threw that in, I guess.
I like that part. Yeah,
it was cool. It was really cool.
Yeah. I didn't like how H took it.
Yeah, no. I didn't really care for H's avatar, man.
It was kind of weird.
Yeah.
It was too much. It was like let's throw freaking Vin Diesel in there. That's like who I thought that was. Like, stupid.
Yeah. And he had Shoto and Dido, which they shortened his name to Show in the movie. And he actually died. He died in the book. You know,
Yeah, he's 11. He's 11-year-old.
Yeah.
11-year-old.
Right. And I think in the book he was like 17 or something like that, and then Dido was supposed to be older, like 19 or 20 or whatever it was. But you know,
Yep.
Sorrento had his thugs throw him off the fucking balcony.
Right.
So yeah, like, and then the whole giant robot thing that really wasn't even explained.
Voltron.
Yeah.
Voltron was badass. Okay, so in the book, they all had a fucking lion, right? And they all made Voltron. Remember that?
I don't remember Voltron ever being mentioned. I know they had. I know they had all those other Japanese like giant robots.
They didn't have any Gundams. That was or
Gundam.
Gundams.
It was.
They had that in the movie. The book, it was Voltron.
Oh, it was.
The book they made Voltron, and then they split apart. Remember, after Godzilla, because it was still Godzilla in the book.
Okay. I'll have to listen back on that part of the book.
Yeah, listen back, man, because it was freaking it was amazing in the book because they split up or whatever, and what the fuck happened?
I thought he had that. I thought he got when Shoto died, he gave him that giant robot, whatever the hell the name of it was. I thought he used that to kill Sorrento.
Right, one of them was Voltron though, and they hit it and the line split up. I didn't say all five. I said all five of them. I didn't mean to. They had Voltron because Voltron was in there. I specifically remember Voltron being mentioned.
Okay, I must not have been paying attention to that part of the book. But yeah, that was. But they totally missed that whole thing. I mean, so like the giant robots didn't make any sense because in one part of the quest to get one of the keys, that's what they got. They each got like everybody that beat that quest ended up getting one of these giant robots, which was like this little toy. The toy that blew up to a giant.
The Mega Man or whatever it was.
Mm-hmm.
That was a quest. That was a single quest with Wade and Dido and did I say Dido? Daisho? Dido and Shoto.
Yeah.
It was those three together, right? Wade won the quest, and to show his loyalty, he was like, "Here you go." He gave him. He was like, "You take the prestige." Like he said, "Thank you."
No, he wouldn't take it. He didn't give it to him until he died. When Shoto died, Dido brought that to him and gave it to him.
Gave it to Wade.
Yeah.
Wade gave it to him.
Oh yeah, that's right. You're right.
Wade won that quest.
You're right.
Wade won the quest and gave it to him, and then he died, and he willed it. He put it in his will to him, and then he brought it to Wade.
Yep, you're right.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm a nerd.
So no, you're right, man. There was just it was a 15-hour book, audio.
Yeah.
Because
it was great.
To the audio book version of it.
It was fucking great.
And I'm gonna go back and listen to it again.
Yeah. Yeah. Pick the movie apart some more.
There was just, but there was
2.5.
There was so many mentions of all kinds of different shit, and when Will Wheaton, like you had said before, when he mentioned his own name, because he's like some big politician or something. And then he mentioned like Star Trek: The Next Generation, and like in the book at the end, whenever they're playing Adventure, when they walk in, there's all like every vintage game console ever made lined up. Remember that?
Yeah, in the movie.
In the book, and in the movie, it was just one Atari sitting there in the middle of that, and they put in Adventure.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming that it probably didn't get licensing from Nintendo, or Sega, or wherever else.
Why would you not want to be part of this movie?
It'd be huge, man. I mean, yeah.
Like, why would you not? Like, I want to see a resurgence of. I already like this movie just came out, and I already want to see a remake and it done right.
I do too.
Is that bad? Is that bad to say?
No, not at all, man. Because I totally agree.
I already paid. I totally bought this movie. By the way, I already bought and paid for it, even after seeing it, because of the content. Oh, Curtis is live. So even after everything we've seen with the content of this movie, I went out and I pre-ordered it on a Fandango.
Oh, I'll
So
be buying it too, man. I'm
just
definitely
because
gonna
it's
buy
like
it because I do want to go through and pause
slow
the
motion, the
movie
whole
and,
damn thing.
yeah, and just kind of nitpick it and
Take 15 hours to dissect the actual movie.
just see all the shit that I didn't get to see in the theater. So
Like I said in the first take of this, there was two stories going on in the whole movie. During the whole movie, there was two stories going on. There was the story that was brought to the forefront in the dialogue with the characters, and then there was the visual story. The visual story, I believe, in my opinion, was trying to pay homage to the book.
yeah,
Visual, meaning you saw Halliday's freaking shirt with the Space Invaders.
right.
You saw the Joust poster. You saw the kid in school, like in school learning when they're all on the computers. Like there was a visual story, and there was a story for the people that haven't read or listened to the book.
And I guess I overestimated what to expect because
Super excited.
You put a name like Steven Spielberg on something like this, and you're like, it's gotta be good, man. It's gotta be fucking awesome.
More practical effects, right?
But I think that was it. It was all about the visual, and that was it. I wonder what Ernest Cline thinks about this. I'm gonna have to look it up. I really want to see because I'm sure there's some interview or something out there that's got his take on it. And
I watched some of it on YouTube.
You did? What did he say?
He was absolutely ecstatic about having the chance to work with Steven Spielberg. And if this is the first book he's ever written, is it his first book he's ever written?
I don't know.
Like that, maybe that's where the research needs to lie. Like, if you had the chance to work with Steven Spielberg, I'd sit there and be like, all right, sir.
Yeah. Mr. Spielberg.
I appreciate everything you've ever done in your whole entire life. But I want you to do for me one thing.
Don't fuck up my book.
No. It would be, I want you to do for me one thing. I want you to reach into 30-year-old Spielberg's mind and pull the greatness from him. Mm-hmm. I want you to take everything that you can visually do and make it real. I don't want this to be done on a computer, even though it's a computer story, even though it has everything to do with a virtual reality world. I don't want you to do that. I want you to make it real.
Dude, that would be, there's no way you could do this movie without CGI, man.
There is.
Way.
Yes, there is. You cast a different person to play his avatar, and then you have this guy going from him to that.
I always envisioned like that, I always envisioned it as a video game, not like as a real, not as like reality. You know, it's like look at you, like you're playing Far Cry 5 right now, and the visual aspects of that, like it looks great, man. The graphics are amazing, but you can tell it's a video game, and that's how I always pictured the Oasis. You know, it's a video game.
It is, and I just
that though, man. You can't.
If I want to watch something from Pixar, I'll watch Pixar. Like that's how I feel about watching a movie like that. You know what I mean? For me to be totally immersed and know that like he's living now in 2045. In 2045, I hope the fuck that graphics don't look like they look right now.
I hope
like
so.
They better look even more real. They better look like you and me right now.
Only in 4K.
Questioning
20K.
Exactly.
20K.
Exactly. You better be able to see like little like indents in my head. See my fucking my dimples and shit.
Pores. I want to see your fucking pores.
Yeah.
Oozing
I want
to fucking oil.
So gross. I don't want to see that. But what I'm saying is I just want everything like we should be to the point in 2045. If we're not to the point where like everything looks real and the lighting is perfect in video games and fucking all this shit, if we're not to that level yet, like we should be with the Unreal Engine, with Unity, with all of these outlets that we have that can create graphics and create content for gamers and shit like that. There's no fucking way in hell that we shouldn't be beyond the dweeby looking fish face fucking avatars they had in Ready Player One.
Yeah.
I was like, that was pretty bad, but you know, that was a pretty bad statement towards it. But
No, I mean, I get what you're saying. But
2045.
yeah. But they had to make it, in our reality, in our time, that's how video games are. So they had, even though it's in the future, they had to make it acceptable for people in our time. Whatever, man. I'm trying to explain it, but it's not coming out because I could think it.
I got you. I got you right now. Are you ready?
Working right now.
These words will be perfect for you.
Yeah.
So what we're trying to say is, in layman's terms, if you were to watch this in 2045, you would feel like you'd be watching Tron from 1980 fucking 2.
Yeah, or Star Wars
83.
or something. Yeah.
Tron, because it was a video game movie.
Oh yeah, sure.
So black lights and
yeah, lasers.
That's how it should compare. That's how it should compare. So,
yep.
Sorry.
Cool.
Sorry. I'm getting a little flustered with that whole process.
I know.
If it's not a podcast, I got to rant, right?
Yeah. That's all good, man. Well, actually, dude, we're already almost to an hour. So,
we are.
Yeah. So let's talk about a couple quick things real quick, and then we can.
What's your plan?
What?
Since we're talking about Ready Player One, what are the games we're playing right now? Because I'll talk.
Oh, what am I playing?
A couple minutes, yeah.
Yeah, I'm playing Monster Hunter World, man. I'm really digging it. It's that game is, dude. It's tons of grinding, but it's fun. The only thing I don't like about it is it's not like games that I've played before. Like Destiny, where I could hop on if I have like just 15 or 20 minutes, and I just want to just blow shit up, or like 7 Days to Die. I can't just get on there for 15 or 20 minutes because everything that you do on this game takes 45 minutes or an hour, for the most part when you're lower level.
Yeah.
But it's a great game. I mean, it's all about monsters, hunting monsters. And
so you're chasing them through the woods or what?
Well,
is that what you're doing? Or
kinda, yeah.
Does it teach you tracking skills? Is that?
It's got tracking on it. Yeah, it's got tracking, and then you have like 14 different weapons you can choose from, and you basically build on these weapons, and you use the materials that you get from all these different monsters to build different weapons and upgrade your weapons with different elements. So like you kill this monster, and it like shoots fire and shit like that. So then you take that material and you use, like I use a bow. Then I'll take that material because it has a fire element to build a fire element bow. So then I'm gonna take this fire element bow, and I'm gonna go over here and kill this monster because its element is ice, so it's gonna do more damage. So then I'm gonna take that, and I'm gonna take all those materials I got from that monster, and I'm gonna build armor for a fucking with ice element or whatever. So then I'm walking around with this ice element armor and this fucking fire bow, and I'm gonna go kill me an ice monster. Shit like that. It's cool. It's fun. I don't know. I get too excited. Well, I am excited for it.
That's what I totally like. I was just like, your excitement is ultimately entertaining to me right now.
But you know what I am excited for, David?
Scripting. Go.
Fucking State of Decay, brother.
Oh God.
2.
Flare up.
You ain't gonna see me.
I need you.
That's what see me for a fucking month when that game comes out.
Yeah. I was like, I took the last 2 days off, right? What the fuck was that? I got a ghost. I think the wind is bad. The wind is supposed to be done by like 8 o'clock. But my dog right there. Sorry, the door just slammed shut. Where were we at? Yeah, State of Decay. Yeah, I just took 2 days off at the end of this week. It was spring break for my kids, so I wanted to kind of be home, and they had some chores and stuff they had to do and whatnot. But I was trying to save the days. State of Decay, so I could just take a week off and be a freaking bum, dude, and just be like in my PJs all day long, freaking grinding.
Let me know when you do it. I'll try to take a couple days off with you. Hopefully my boss isn't watching this on Facebook. Well, he's not on Facebook, so who cares?
Hopefully your boss upstairs ain't listening to this.
That too. No, she's not even home yet. So
I know she's got a phone, right?
rule the house.
Yeah, right. Your son's like, shut
I'm
up,
like,
Dad.
Oh shit, is she home?
Mom's home.
Oh shit. I mean, just kidding, honey. Love you. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's it, man. What about you? What are you playing?
My game. You've seen. I have been grinding. So the game, it was kind of an undiscovered treasure. Mutual friend on Xbox put me onto it, but Far Cry 5.
Yeah, man. It looks really good, dude. I've been watching videos, man, and it looks good.
I'm gonna say, besides the freaking crazy ass cult you're fighting, it makes me really miss home. Like,
Yeah, Montana.
it does. Well,
The Northwest.
the eastern side of Washington, yeah.
Yeah.
Idaho. So like where they're at, so they're in Big Sky country,
AJ.
right? So that's right where
Aiden.
that's right where the Northwest really starts. For me, it's totally my opinion of where the Northwest starts, but excuse me, it starts in Big Sky country, down into Colorado, and then across up even the top part of California. So all that, and then just take Seattle and throw that shit in the ocean. But yeah. Everything else, dude. Like, I love every bit of it, and I love growing up there. Like, you get into that game and you're running through the hills. If you've ever been in the Pacific Northwest, you're just like, oh my god, dude! Like, the graphics are so fucking amazing. Like, I actually felt like I was there. Like, every night was an illuminated night. Like, you don't have to have MPGs or anything. Like, they have the lighting just right, so it's like a full moon every night.
Yeah.
But there's we're talking about Ready Player One and Easter eggs and shit like that. Bit of a spoiler to that game. I was driving a boat down a river. My son's like, you need to turn right here, or turn left right here. So I turned left and I go up and I'm down this river or whatever, trying to get away from where I need to, trying to get to where I need to go, getting away from stuff that was going on or whatever. And it just stops. And I was like, what the fuck, man? And I was like, dude, this is the wrong way. So I back the boat up, and as I'm backing the boat up, it turns in and I can see a sewer drain. And I actually I sent you the picture, right?
Yeah, that was
that's the actual picture for me for my gameplay. I back up and I look right at the sewer drain, and there's a fucking red balloon floating there. And I was like, instantly, I was like, are you fucking kidding me? So I got out, and I fucking went up to the balloon, tried to push it, like it wouldn't move or anything like that. I shot it and confetti blew out of it. And then I went into the sewer drain thinking like maybe there was a tunnel in there somewhere that went off somewhere, because, it's it. Yeah. Anyways, so I go through the tunnel and all that stuff, and it brought me to an area that I had already been. And there was a grizzly bear that had pulled a prepper out of he was in a sewer drain all freaking blocked off and crap. But I killed a grizzly there, long story short. Nothing, I found no clues whatsoever about it after that. And then I'm playing the game, and I find this one chick, and she's like, you need to go to O'Hare's haunted house. And I went to O'Hare's haunted house, and I flipped on this. I found my way into the attic of this one building, flipped the switch to turn the haunted house on, slid down, went in the haunted house, went through the haunted house, got kind of turned around, like trying to figure out where I was because I was drinking. So Hayden's like, go to the left, the mannequin, you go out that way. He walked me out. so I go up, and I grab onto the thing, climb myself up into the attic of the haunted house, and the phone's ringing, and there's a red balloon floating right by the phone. I was like, are you fucking kidding me? Did you watch that video?
Yeah.
Did you see that?
Yeah,
did you see the balloon floating there?
And I heard the phone ring or whatever, and then heard
the laughter.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then the note. Did you read that fucking note?
No, I didn't read the note.
The note said it's a clown. It's a clown. It uses the children. Yeah. So dude, like this is all I've found on this Easter egg so far. I'm kind of like don't like I went to YouTube for the O'Hare's haunted house because I didn't have video of it at the time.
Mm-hmm.
I went there and I saved it and I sent that stuff to you and Merc. And then I went back, turned it all and did it all again or whatever, but it did it. And like that's as far as I've gotten. So I found the balloon by the sewer in the random spot. It's a random ass spot, right? Are you looking it up now?
No, no.
Oh. And I was like, okay, I don't know. So I kind of want to find
more to it, or do you
yes,
think that's it?
I think you're actually gonna see it. So yeah. So now my question is because now I'm over in Faith's hood, right? Her shit's all about this mind altering substance.
Mm-hmm.
And like I went up to the top of Raptor's Peak and she was there and like she was like she walked by me and like you see her because you get bliss. It's just a drug. It's like a flower. It's like the purple flower from Batman.
Mm-hmm.
And you smell it once it's crushed up or burned up, but this you just walk through it and the pollen is the drug.
Okay.
So, and they have it where they've refined it. They've put it into the water. Like they've made bliss ponds and shit everywhere. There's bliss fields. It's all about this drug or whatever in her area. So I'm thinking, remember the movie, right?
Yeah.
Where did it stay at? It stayed in the sewer, but like where was it at in the sewer? It was at a water treatment plant, wasn't it?
I guess it's been years since I've seen that movie. I haven't
Did you watch the new movie?
No, I haven't watched it.
Okay. Well, the new one, they were by some weird thing, and they were all floating in the sky on the new one at the end of the new one. But yeah, there I've been trying to think about the movie because they've obviously made movie things so there should be a scary ass house, right? Yeah. So the haunted house. Right. I've been to the haunted house. I've seen the first balloon by the sewer. I've seen the first balloon by the sewer. I've been to the haunted house. I'm trying to remember what happened in between that because that's where I need to look.
Dude, it's like one of the quests from the Oasis.
Right?
Oh shit.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah, man.
That's why I sent it to Merc. He's like, "Fuck you. I don't want to do any of that shit."
Yeah, I know. He was all like, "Mm-mm." So have you looked it up, or you just don't want to do any spoilers?
I don't want to do any. I want to figure it out on my own because I'm pretty sure somebody's probably fucking figured it out. Probably. I'm definitely not wading the story.
You could be the first. I'll tell you what. I'll look it up and I'll let you know if nobody else has figured it out. So then you can post it and be the first.
I gotta figure it out.
Okay. I'm gonna look this shit up. So let's
It's only been 3 days, right?
Let's talk about this real quick.
Yeah.
Just touch base on this. So I'm an X-Men fan, really huge.
Yeah.
The Dark Phoenix, man, I've been stoked for this fucking movie to come out, and it was supposed to come out in November of this year, and it got pushed off to February of next year. Those rat bastards, because they had to reshoot like half the fucking movie, and they're like,
"Why is that?"
I don't know.
Some actor dropped out.
No, I think it's they said something about the let's see, something about the pre-screenings, I guess, didn't do as well as what they thought it would, so they went back and reshoot to test screen it. Yeah. It's been reported that Dark Phoenix's delay has been heavily influenced by reshoots in response to test screenings that, due to scheduling conflicts with Sophie Turner, who's Phoenix, couldn't take place until summer of 2018 because they got Jennifer Lawrence.
Game of Thrones, man. That's
right. Well, they got her with Game of Thrones. They got Jennifer Lawrence. They got what's his name that plays Xavier. You know, they got some big Michael Fassbender. You know, they got all these big names and shit.
Well, Warner Brothers still owns that shit, right?
No, Fox.
Fox is owned by Warner Brothers.
Okay, well,
isn't it the same?
I
20th
don't know.
Century Fox and Warner Brothers. Like that was a subsidiary type shit.
I'm not sure about that, but I know that the X-Men stuff is Fox. Because
It's just crazy
that's
because
why there
it's
will never
Marvel,
be,
right?
I know, right? That's why there will never be, the X-Men and the Avengers.
Avengers.
Which they got the perfect chance for a crossover because Beast like floated between the two for years.
Yeah.
Like, he was an Avenger and an X-Men for years. So I mean, if they ever want to do a crossover, dude, they got a good chance at doing it.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, that's kind of shitty. And then the New Mutants. You saw the trailer for that, right? Like the scary movie. Did you see that?
I don't think I did.
Oh, dude, I'll send you the.
Yeah, I think you were gonna send me a link. I didn't get it yet.
Yeah, because it's like really dark. Like it's almost supposed to be like a horror movie. That was supposed to be in February, and I think that got pushed off a few months now as well.
Because originally, isn't the New Mutants part of the whole the Runaways? Isn't that the same? Isn't that part of the New Mutants? Aren't the Runaways a part of the New Mutants?
That I'm not sure of, dude. That'd be a good question for Cody. I think Cody could answer that.
Damn it, Cody! Where you at?
Damn it, Cody!
Damn it, Cody!
Yeah, so that was supposed to be. Let's see. It looks like it was supposed to be originally released in April. That now is pushed off to August because they don't want to release the Dark Phoenix and that too close together, I guess. Which is cool. So, but hey, we got some good shit to look forward to in 2019. So that's exciting.
Yeah, and maybe that He-Man movie. I don't know.
Possibly. Yeah, that ain't gonna happen. So, what are your thoughts on Toys R Us closing, man? I know this is kind of old. We haven't recorded in like 3 weeks, so we're just kind of catching up.
Yeah, Toys R Us closing thing is just. Well, first off, let me start by saying they're not the Toys R Us we grew up with.
No.
So that's how I feel about that. Sure, they have the retro aisle with the Toys R Us now, but like, really, what have they like? The toys that are coming out nowadays are just garbage anyway. So it's
I agree, man. It's like you look at Pixel Dan post and all these other guys that are like hardcore, toy guys, and
Yep.
they're all like, oh, it's an end of an era, and it's like that era actually ended a long time ago. I think, I don't really it sucks. It sucks that the name won't be there because it's something that we grew up with. You had the giraffe, and the icon.
Which I haven't really even visited in forever.
I know. Like
Except for
Pixel Dan
cartoons.
posted something. Once the announcement was made, he posted on his Facebook page that he was taking his son there because and he's like, which is really cool. I mean, hats off to him. He took his kid to Toys R Us, and they spent a few hours and they're just playing with toys, playing around with stuff, which is great. And I'm like, oh, that'd be kind of cool. And then I'm like, you know what though, dude? I haven't been to Toys R Us. Like, I think the last time I went was like 3 or 4 years ago when I was Christmas shopping or something like that, or looking for a birthday present. And I really don't care. It's not that big a deal. Honestly, dude, when I was a kid, Children's Palace was my place. Mainly because we live right down the street from it. But also KB Toys, man. I have more fond memories of KB Toys than I do, I think, of Toys R Us.
Yeah, dude. They always had the toys you could play with at the front. Like, legitimately play with.
In every mall. So, you go to the mall with your mom and dad. They're going to Dillard's or they're going to J.C. Penney's. And you're like, oh, let's go to KB Toys, Go in there and look around and hang out. And it was awesome, man. So now KB Toys apparently is hopping on the bandwagon and they're trying to make a comeback. And I don't think it's going to be the same, dude. I really don't.
No, it's not.
Well, because I think it's a bunch of investors that are just bringing back the name. I don't think it's gonna be the same. So I mean, toy stores, man. I mean, shit, dude. It ain't very long before. I mean, malls are closing left and right, dude. So all these physical stores, they're going away.
Yeah.
So, God bless the internet, right?
Right. Hey, I'm a proud sponsor of the internet.
Yep.
Thanks, you internet. Thank you, interweb.
This podcast is brought to you by
The
the internet.
interweb.
The
The intraweb.
by www.com.
Retro podcast. Retro dash podcast.com.
I like that.
Dash.
Douche. All right, man. Well, let's wrap it up, dude. I know you got your video thing that you guys are wanting to do, and I got pizza up there getting cold. My family just got home, so
Yeah, man.
time
Freaking sexy.
to shut her down.
Shutting her down.
Well, thanks for hanging out with us, everybody. We'll see everybody
Thanks for
next
coming.
time on Masters of the Retroverse.
Yeah.
And remember,
Always ask your parents' permission.
there's nothing wrong with living in the past.
Oh, I thought we were doing a PSA. My bad.
All right, guys. Hey, make sure
forgot
you
that.
check out the YouTube channel. Just search for Masters of the Retroverse. Check out our Facebook page and our group, Masters of the Retroverse on the page and Masters of the Retroverse group. Make sure you check out the Toy Lounge. Our good buddy Curtis over there, man. He always, it's a lively group, man. There's always people posting stuff, tons of lives. I love it, man. I love it. You see all kinds of people posting all their collections. You know, just seeing the lives of their collections is awesome.
Yeah. And beware that shortly in the future we will have the episode of Beat the Streets, hopefully with Curtis. It's going to be a trivia based deal where one of these vintage collectors are going to go up against a random person from the streets, and Wilmington, North Carolina will be our first episode, and we're going to have prizes.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome.
Yep.
I got something lined up too. I bought an X-Men blind box. They had them at Target. I'm gonna buy a couple more of them. And on the back, they've got the 9 or 12 characters that could be in that box. So I think I'm gonna do something. I'm gonna do a live, and I'm gonna let everybody guess. Well, 12 people guess which one is in the box. And when I open it up, whoever's right, I'll send them one of the blind boxes. That'd be fun, right?
Hell yeah.
So
That would be. I like that.
We'll do something like that. It's simple, it's fun, it's interactive, and yeah. So make sure you check out the Facebook group for that and the page. It'll be on both probably. So that's it, man. That's it.
Yeah, man.
I'm gonna go get me some pizza. Go get me some za, dude.
All right, man.
All right.
Hey, take it easy, guys.
We'll see
Thanks
you
for
next
stopping
time.
by.
Remember, there's nothing wrong with living in the past. See ya.
Yeah.
Yep.